My dog ate all of my rich girlfriend's shoes, which made her mad, so we had to hold a funeral. My girlfriend just moved in with me a couple weeks ago. My dog, Jeffrey, is pretty well trained, but shoes are his weakness. It is kinda cute though. I've tried everything to get him to stop chewing shoes, but ultimately I decided to just not leave shoes laying around anymore and always put them away. This worked well when I lived on my own, but the closet at the front isn't big enough for all of my girlfriend's shoes, so they've been sitting in bins since she moved. She's on vacation with her friends right now, and I made her a nice walk-in closet and makeup room off from our bedroom as a surprise, since there wasn't enough closet room in our house for both of our things. I brought all of her shoes up yesterday to try and figure out the shelving spacing and forgot to put the lids back on the bins before I left for work. I got home this morning to find every single shoe she owns completely destroyed by Jeffrey. Only a couple shoes look like they could be fixable, but there isn't even one pair that remains wearable. My dog was quite proud of himself. My girlfriend is the type of person who is very methodical with her clothing and shoes. Everything she owns has been carefully selected, brands have been researched thoroughly, and she takes immaculate care of her things. That is to say that they are all pretty expensive, around $100 to $500 per pair, all in perfect condition. There are probably over 30 pairs of shoes. I've estimated the cost of replacing the ones I can find new online at $6,000, and that doesn't include some of the brands that I don't recognize and can't find online, or some that are no longer being sold. I'm not really sure where to go from here. I was able to find around 20 pairs of the shoes online in the exact style that she had, and I'm wondering if I should order those now and hope they get here before she gets home. Obviously there's no hiding this, but I'm wondering if it would make her feel a bit better to at least have some shoes to choose from. I am pretty sure that if I told her to go spend the amount in damages on new shoes, she wouldn't, because we're saving up to buy a new house and she'd rather put the money towards that, but I know she would be sad about not having all the choices that she had before. Has anyone else been in this situation who would be able to suggest to me what I can do? Jeffrey doesn't have an income of his own yet, though maybe we'll get in working in a factory somewhere. Update. I decided that I should buy a few key pairs before she gets home. It was hard because where we live we are transitioning from winter to summer, so I had to buy winter boots, rain boots, sandals, runners, and various types of work shoes. Only about half of them arrived before she got home on Friday. I wish I could have bought them in person so I could have been certain they would be here, but I wasn't able to since winter items are out of season and lots of the brands she likes are only available online. Friday I picked her and her friends up from the airport. When we got a second of alone time, I told her about the shoe situation. She was pissed initially. She wasn't mad at me or our dog, but more mad that it happened. I decided not to tell her about the awesome closet that I built her while she was gone and just hoped that the surprise would soften the blow. On the car ride back she told her friends what happened, and they really helped turn it into a positive event that she could laugh about. She would only get sad when she remembered shoes that she spent a long time breaking in. Apparently her Birkenstocks took 2 full summers before they reached max comfiness, so that was what she was the most sad about. I feel extremely awful about that. I actually took those ones to a cobbler because I knew she would be most upset about them, but they couldn't be salvaged, they were too far gone. When we got home she wanted to see the carnage. I wasn't sure it was a good idea because I was kind of expecting her to cry, but she just thought it was funny. She had me make a small pine casket for the shoes while her and her friends got absolutely blasted, and we buried them in the backyard that night. She did cry briefly at the funeral, but she was a trooper nonetheless. Her friends decided it was only fair for me to purchase every pair of shoes she wants for the rest of our lives, and I drunkenly agreed, a decision that I'm sure will cost me a small fortune, but I stand by it all the same. Over the past few days she has ordered all of the shoes she needed to replace the ones she lost. She only reordered around 10 pairs that she previously owned, so it was a good thing I didn't go ahead and reorder them all. She already had a Pinterest of every pair she wanted and had deemed to be worthy of her collection, which made it was a fairly quick process. All in all, it cost around twice what I had anticipated, but she didn't break up with me, so I'll call it a win. I'm just glad I was able to afford it. I couldn't imagine how awful it would be to be in this position without being able to pony up. It's going to set me back a few months on buying an engagement ring, but I'm sure that won't be an issue. For everyone concerned about the dog, she isn't worried about getting him trained more because he behaves perfectly otherwise. She said, if anything, I need to be trained not to be a careless idiot. Joking aside, it was a fluke, and we're usually very good about keeping the shoes put away. I made the doors to her closet and our front closet self-closing, so we don't ever need to worry about leaving them open. Like my girlfriend, the poor guy can't resist shoes, so we don't really blame him for what happened. In fact, we are quite proud of what he managed to accomplish in the 12 hours I was away.